G'day and welcome to Aussievision. My name's Liv and we're joined here today by a very special guest, our first international Eurovision participant of the year. It's Sissal, who is representing Denmark at Eurovision this year with the song Hallucination. Good morning, Sissal. How has your week been so far? Very chaotic, I presume.
Hi. Yeah, it's actually it's been very chaotic, but I think like the last week I've been like relaxing much more because I was at the first like pre-party in Stockholm, and then I've had like 1.5 week like basically just being preparing myself for the next pre-party like this weekend. So but there's a lot of meetings, and there's a lot of staging and clothing as well, and yeah, there's a lot of things going on all the time, but I'm enjoying it.
It definitely builds and builds, doesn't it? What made you decide to try out for Dansk Melodi Grand Prix and how long ago did this process start for you?
I mean, I've always watched it since I was a little girl. I always watched the kids version as well, and then the grown-ups DMGP when I got a little bit older. And I have always like had a dream about being in the competition, but as I got older, it in Denmark the competition sometimes has like a label it puts a label on people, so it's hard like coming like out of that like label. But then I was like, I love that. I love the DMGP. Like, why would I be sad of having if that's gonna be a label for me? I mean, I've also always seen like Eurovision, so it was a no-brainer for me. But I've always said that I wanted to be take part of it when I felt like I had a winning song or a song that could like do well. And this year, like basically, I submitted someone like a song last year, and it didn't get through. And I think it's everything is meant like everything is that happens is meant to be. So I think this year was definitely meant to be.
Yeah, the stars certainly aligned, and you're going to Eurovision, so fabulous job there. Tell us
Yeah.
about growing up in like the music industry of the Faroe Islands and then moving to sort of mainland Copenhagen. Are there quite different music industries there, or what's the vibes?
Yeah, it's definitely like really different. So I didn't grow up in a like musician, like a family with musicians. So I never went to like music school doing any instruments. So it was just something that I learned by myself. One of my dad's friends, he was a guitarist, and he lived in Denmark and then when he visited us into the Faroe Islands, he like learned me 3 chords. And that was how I started like playing the guitar as well, because I've always been singing. Um, but I mean, I actually, I've always been singing. So I was like in a children's MGP in the Faroe Islands, and like a song of the year, like voice of the year when I was 15. But it's very small. It's a small competition. But that was like how I put a foot in the music industry. But it was basically when I turned 19, when I was in my second musical, when I was Rizzo. I played Rizzo in Greece, where I met someone that was in the music industry and that worked with a lot of musicians and was like a musician himself. So we actually started working a lot together. And there was like when I started making my own music. Like I got to play in a band as well, and learned a lot about like the music industry. But it's quite different in the Faroe Islands because it's a very small circle of musicians that keep like playing at the same festivals as well. So it's very hard for other musicians come through, even if you would think that it would be easier. Um, and there's not a lot of electronic pop as well. So when I moved to Denmark and I met Max and Christian, who produced and co-wrote my whole EP, um, it was for the first time I made music that felt like something that felt really right for me, because I've always listened to electronic pop and that and like in the Eurodance genre. So that was the first time that I felt like I was doing something that it was made for me.
Nice. Definitely my genre of music too. So I can see why you love it so much and bringing it to the mainland. Let's go. You mentioned
Yeah.
that you've been watching Eurovision for a long time and you've been a big fan. Are there any artists that you've sort of met now or other people that you're really excited to meet from the contest this year? Or are you still sort of catching up on everyone who's entered?
No, I mean, there's a lot of people or artists that I would love to meet. I've met like Kyle, and we've been talking a lot, and we've had so much fun. But he's so young. He's like 19. I'm 30. I feel like I'm his mom, but it's fun because when you're in the industry, you basically don't feel like that huge age gap. And that's the same thing in when you're in musicals as well. When I was younger, I didn't even feel like the age difference because we're going through the same thing, even if we have like age difference. But I've been talking to JJ as well. He has wrote me and he was like, "Oh, I love your song. I can't wait to meet you." And I've been writing with Mariana from Malta as well. And I'm a person that loves meeting new people and making new friends. So I'm really looking forward to like meeting a lot of great people with like great vibes, and we have like one common thing, and that's the music right now. And that's like, so we always have something in common. um so yeah, there's a lot of great people that I can't wait to meet.
Well, yeah, if you like meeting people in Eurovision, certainly the way to do it. And as fans, we love those interactions so much. We're like so excited when you guys finally meet, especially when you meet the Australian artists, because I feel like we're always a bit like isolated until Eurovision kind of starts, and then it's like, yay, we're connected now.
You know what, I will make contact to Australia, don't worry. I will
Yes.
I will say hi to him and I will be his friend.
Excellent. Speaking of Australia, I mean, Australia and Denmark have, a very cute little relationship as countries just anyway, with Queen Mary and whatnot. And, I have lots of family in Denmark.
Oh
I've got
yes.
some Danish licorice just chilling here. Anyway,
Ah, nice.
but Australia and Denmark are actually in the same semi-final, so we can vote for each other.
Yeah.
Did you have a message for your Aussie fans?
I mean, I just want to say thank you so much for your support and for you guys listening to my music. I've seen like Australians are listening, are streaming my music, and I appreciate it so much. And I love your guys' song as well. Like I love his song. And I just want to say thank you so much for the support and thank you for listening. And yeah, like yeah, I'm so grateful.
Do you have any connections to Australia at all, or ever wanted to travel out or anything?
I would love to travel, especially in the winter, so I can get like a little bit of more sun. So, but I've never been to Australia and don't know anyone. So I don't have any connections to Australia. I mean, yeah, like the king. That's what I have, but I would love to visit Australia one day. But I'm afraid of spiders, so that's like something that I would
That's
be afraid of.
That's fair enough. Just get a little bug spray can. But anyway, thank you so much, Sissal, for your time and good luck at Eurovision. As I mentioned, Australia and Denmark in the same semi-final, guys. So get voting for her. And I can't wait to meet you in Basel. See you over there, girl.
Yeah, you too. I can't wait to meet you.